for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk.
You're listening to Reignite, a podcast that I really wish would stop reflecting reality so intensely. I'm Frankie.
And I am at AK Stormageddon.
It's time to do something about those complaints Cullen heard about Aveline. Aveline is, of course, highly offended, so she suggests that we observe her husband's patrol and see just how coddled he is. Donnick turns out to be chin-deep in bandits and having the time of his life. Cullen's response to this is utter indifference, but he does send us to Lowtown to investigate the accusations. I say sends us, more like, you could go if you feel like it. I don't think it'll do anything. Anyway, lo and behold, it is former Captain Jevin who is behind it all. Who is surprised? How will Aveline handle the doubt he's sown into the community?
Yep.
Everyone in this made me mad.
Like all the characters?
Pretty much everyone made me very angry, except Donnick, because I feel like Donnick was just like, what's happening?
Yeah,
okay.
Donnick's just doing his job. Donnick can do no
Donnick's
wrong.
The only one.
I love my sweet boy Donnick.
Donnick's the only one that was like, you're fine. You can stay. Everybody else made me a little angry. Even Aveline, who I think handled it the best that she could. But
I think Aveline is still carrying the weight of our disappointment in her from previous missions more than anything else.
I tried really hard to push that away.
Right, to forgive and forget.
Not so much forgive and forget as say to myself, that has nothing to do with this. Like, these are two different scenarios.
Right, this is still a person we're aiding. It's not just because she did those things doesn't mean she just doesn't deserve aid in this moment.
Right. Okay, let's dig into it. The first thing that we have to do is head over to talk to Aveline and tell her about these allegations that she is coddling her men. And when we walk in, we find that there is a Templar who is pretty much bullying Aveline and saying, you know, if you just gave up your role, we could take over the guards and then you wouldn't have to deal with it. And then everything would be very strong and it would be unity and it would be great. And Aveline's like, go fuck yourself. Leave now. Which, props to Aveline on that.
Yeah. Like, and also the idea of, you know, one power taking over all policing feels bad.
Yes. Yes, it do. It do feel very bad. Though I am a little surprised with Aveline not being a little deferential to a Templar, given her attachment to the Order through her former husband, Wesley. Wesley, right? I think
Yes.
Wesley. So I am a little surprised that there's no affection for the Templar Order there, which I think goes to show how fucked up that they are. That someone who is basically married into the Order cannot give them any affection or kindness.
Yeah, I think part of it is also meant to be read as like Hawk's effect on Aveline. Even in Rivalry, you are showing she is, in theory, all of the characters that are your companions know all the goings on, even if they are not present on every mission. So hearing things about the current state of the Templars probably is also lending to that, and like the things they've done and all of that as well, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like, I think, yes, I'm agreeing. I'm saying that, like, I think a lot, the source of this is probably Hawk's influence on her, just like all of the other characters as well.
Yeah. But once the Templar leaves, then we can talk to Aveline about it and be like, well, maybe if you didn't coddle your men so much, people wouldn't think you were a pushover. I don't know.
Yeah. Which of the responses did you choose? Because I continued to build my rivalry with Aveline, and I said, apparently you're a lazy boss, which I thought was me like joking, right? Like saying, like, like,
That was the middle one?
yeah, thinking like,
Yeah.
I'm goofing, like, oh, I guess they think you're lazy. But no, she took it personally. I was like, motherfucker, it was a joke.
I took the tough one where you say something maybe a little mean. And I do say, like, apparently you coddle your men.
Yeah.
And she does get a little up in arms about it, but then you can say, like, obviously these are lies.
Yeah.
Which I do say. I'm like,
Yes.
Obviously it's a lie. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's a lie. So I did end up with a little friendship from her at the end.
Not me. Full rivalry at this point. Although the meter's not full yet, but it's getting there.
Yeah, I'm like somewhere in the middle with her. We should do a check on all of our companions and see where we are before the final mission.
My favorite thing, and I don't remember if I mentioned it last episode, but as my relationship with Meryl is really starting, we are still not in full friendship. Like, we're 3/4 of the way there, but still,
That's
like, it's
hilarious.
not maxed out, which is hilarious.
She's someone that you can romance while full rivalry.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, a rivalmance is very interesting with her.
I'll bet.
It's very much, you disrespect me at every turn, but I can't leave you. Anyway, so Aveline's solution is for us to investigate, which,
Right.
yes, I think that is a good way to do it. Do I think going to see your husband with you in tow is the way to do it? No,
No.
because he's your husband. It's a conflict of interest. Like, he's gonna say whatever it takes to support you because he's your husband.
Yeah, but I mean, in her defense, first of all, Donnick's character is pretty strong as far as the kind of person he is. And secondly, like, I think what happens is what she hoped would happen, is that we would see him, kicking ass and trying to not get killed by bandits as, like, proof that he's not,
I agree that checking on Donnick is the right thing to do. It's having her with us for the investigation.
Got it. Okay, understood. Yeah.
Because with her present,
Yeah.
what's he gonna do? Be like, oh yeah, Aveline, like, gives me whatever I want. All I have to do is ask. Like,
He's not. Yeah. Sure.
who did you take to the docks with you, by the way?
So I took Aveline, Anders, and Meryl.
Okay, I took Meryl, Aveline, and Isabella because I decided girl squad.
Sure, makes sense.
I was like, well, we're gonna support Aveline. Let's have a girl squad about it. And I forget how mean Aveline is to Isabella all the time.
Constantly. They do not get along.
And Aveline's just like, how are you so popular with men? You're not that pretty. And I'm just like, Aveline!
Woof.
Have you seen Isabella? Come on.
Also, like there's rude, and then there's things we just don't say.
That's just mean. And Isabella, however, just rolls with it and is like, whatever, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm just like, Isabella, that comment would have ruined me for the rest of my life. I would have never left my house again. So, as we were saying, we do go to the docks. We do find Donnick chin deep in bandits. He pulls his weight in the fight. He doesn't just stand there off to the side waiting for you to kill everything for him. He fights rather well. And then he tells us his perspective of Aveline's command, which is every guard chooses their patrol. Nobody is taking on a dangerous patrol without consent. Aveline also doesn't reward people for being reckless with their lives. She rewards them for being smart and strategic. So if you're just choosing dangerous things to choose dangerous things without being prepared for them, you're not going to advance. But if you choose something dangerous and you prepare yourself for it adequately and you take care of it, then you have opportunity for advancement. He says, action is up, casualties are down. And then he closes it with a compliment, and I'm like, Donnick, not now.
Now's not the time.
Like, flirt with your wife later. Like, obviously something serious is happening.
Yes, this is very cute, but this is the wrong time.
Also, like, you're not helping the case.
No.
uh, and, like, it sounds fine.
Yeah, I mean, this is like what I was saying about before. Is Donnick's character is pretty strong in this game. Is the fact that like he was gonna say tell the truth no matter who was with us, but obviously it could be considered suspect with Aveline there. But like
Yeah.
me as a character, knowing Donnick and the kind of person he is, I would expect this kind of response regardless, because like we said earlier, of course we believe Aveline as well, that she's not coddling anyone.
Yeah, also the one time Aveline did try to give him an easy patrol, he was like, what the fuck?
Like, why are you doing this? Yeah, we had a whole mission
Like,
about that.
do you hate me?
What the hell?
His whole thing was like, did I make you mad? Like, why did you do this to me?
Yeah.
So, like, maybe Donnick's not the best example. Like, maybe coddling Donnick is giving him, like, the danger that he wants.
Right, that's true. I hadn't thought of that.
Like, coddling doesn't necessarily mean just, like, giving people the easy thing. It means giving in to what they want.
Yeah, that's true.
So, neither here nor there. So we move back to the gallows to talk to Cullen and be like, obviously it was lies. I have investigated this. And the claims are garbage. Hawk asks, did you even try to verify them? This motherfucker. Like, did I hate Cullen last time? I don't remember. It's been so long since we've talked to him.
So I feel like we both disliked Cullen in the first game. And like we tried to be open-minded with him, and then by the end of all the tower stuff, we were pissed at him. In this game, I'm not sure. I think we kind of rolled our eyes every time he showed up, but I don't know that we were actually mad with him. It's hard to remember.
I know in my first game, Cullen became a serial killer.
Yes, we've talked about this.
And they have retconned this for
Yes.
Dragon Age 2, and I am very upset.
Yeah.
But the thing that pissed me off about this conversation is that when you come back to him and say, like, I've investigated and, like, I figured it was all bullshit, like, clearly you didn't even bother to see if it was accurate before, you know, bringing it to me. And his response is, honestly, it doesn't matter if it's bullshit. If the complaints keep happening, they're going to use it as a reason to push Aveline out and take over the guards. I'm like, then why did I even... Why? Why did we even bother with this?
Yeah, it's almost like people in position of power can do whatever they want, and whether it's true or not, they're going to use their power to manipulate everything around them.
And he does tell us that the complaints originated in Lowtown, but his whole thing is like, I don't think it matters.
It's so depressing how true this is, and how often we encounter this in life, not just at the height of power, but anywhere where people will push in a direction regardless of facts and information just because they want to push forward their own narrative because they only care about themselves and no one else.
As I'm talking, I'm starting to wonder if maybe Cullen's attitude in this conversation is because he's tired. Because thinking back to the voice acting that was done, Cullen sounded really tired and he sounded really dejected.
Yeah.
And I think I was just angry and I didn't think about it in the moment. But now I'm starting to wonder, like, is Meredith, like, really getting you to a point where you're like, nothing matters, everything sucks, I can't do anything to resist it?
I mean, it could be.
I think Cullen's depressed.
I mean, among other things, sure.
But I was very annoyed about it. So we head over to Lowtown and we talk to the guard, Brennan. And Brennan tells us that it was former Captain Jevin. She didn't say anything because she was ashamed for him. Brennan, you're not helping.
No, never. I mean, Brennan's not helping and Jevin's never helping.
Right. Brennan, I know their names sound so similar.
Yeah. I hear Brennan. I just want to say Brennan Lee Mulligan anyway.
I know.
Every time.
Brennan Lee Mulligan would have been an improvement on this game.
I agree. An improvement on most games, honestly.
It's true.
He was great and did everything.
I still haven't picked it up. Not the point of this podcast right now.
No.
So, not the point of this podcast right now. So Brennan tells us that former captain Jevin is trying to rile the guards against Aveline, but none are following because they're all loyal to Aveline. But Brennan, if you're so loyal to Aveline, why didn't you tell her?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, you were embarrassed and ashamed, and I get it. Well, I guess saying it out loud when we are suffering from severe embarrassment or regret, it is hard to even do the logical thing in those moments.
No. I agree with you when it's about ourselves.
Sure.
Not when it's about other people.
Sure, fair enough.
Like, if somebody does something and I'm like, oof, that's embarrassing, but what they're doing is harmful to a person that I'm deeply loyal to,
Yeah, that's true.
my loyalty outshines the secondhand embarrassment I feel for another person.
Yes, fair. Totally.
So, and it's not like she did anything worth being embarrassed about. So
Right.
that's why I was confused. I was like, what the fuck did you do? All you did was not tell anyone. Which, yeah, I guess that's pretty embarrassing, but that's not what you're embarrassed about.
Yeah.
So, so we find out that he's recruiting specifically people who are anti-Ferelden and who were anti-Canary. So fun. The name of this rally. The rally against the tyranny of the guard and foreigners who infest Kirkwall.
Woof. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad we didn't record this the weekend of Easter when there was an anti-immigration protest in my town.
Yeah.
Like a stone's throw from my house.
Woof.
Yeah. And then they did a parade.
Oh, Jesus.
But justice prevails because the counter protest opposite them was bigger, and also the main protest gave up an hour early.
I mean, that sounds about right for those people.
Yeah. So we head over to Darktown, because what is a quest like this without having to go to 4 different locations? And finally, the champion gets their due. Because the second you show up, everyone's like, oh shit, it's the champion. Is this a good idea? Should we leave?
Right. It's nice to play a character who's so important that everyone questions what they're doing when they see him or her on the other side.
Exactly. I'm like, finally. Finally, you wonder if you should even be here.
Yeah.
Because every time leading up to now, people are like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, that's true. That's a complaint we've always had, is like, typically in these games or even in Mass Effect, people still want to fight you even though they know what you're capable of. Like, how could they have not heard the stories? But here, at least, it's finally starting to trickle through.
Yeah, I've heard of you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, are you sure?
Then you haven't really heard of me, because you know what happens when people try to do that.
You positive? And the captain, Aveline, is there. Nobody knows if they're ready for it. And Jevin is giving this speech. And I had such a visceral reaction to this speech, because it was like listening to a certain politician deliver one of his speeches.
Yep.
With comments like, you did not throw off all others only to fall under Ferelden influence.
Yep.
And it was just so deeply upsetting to experience. And you have the option to, like, talk to Jevin yourself or to hand it over to Aveline. I gave it over to Aveline.
Yeah, I did the same.
I tend to, whenever it's the, like, somebody else can handle it, I'm just like, let them do it.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is also, at this stage of the game specifically, I trust my colleagues, even if I have rivalry with Aveline because we don't agree. Ultimately, it's based in a trust of her character and broader moral judgment.
Yeah. Also, I feel like something that impacts a person more directly, they should have primary say in how it's handled.
Sure, it's the shepherding of it all, where we talk about how Commander Shepard would be asked to do stuff that had no business being the authority on, but because Shepard's in the room, they're like, you'll handle it.
Yeah. Aveline says some great stuff. I wrote down a bunch of her lines. But as Aveline approaches, I want to point out, Jevin calls her a bitch. And men who fall back on calling a woman a bitch, they do it because they have nothing else.
Correct. It's like the bottom of the barrel, like I'm scraping at what to do. I need to figure out a way to demoralize them. This is all I've got left.
Yeah. It is a weak man's insult.
Correct.
Some things that Aveline says I really enjoyed was, this is no rebellion, it is a delusion. This is a joke inflicted on Kirkwall. And when Jevin says, like, because of you, I have nothing. And she says, you're about to have less.
Also, motherfucker, you have nothing because of you, not because
yeah.
of me.
And that's another thing she tells him. Like, none of this is my fault. This is your fault because you behaved badly and you got found out. So you fucked around, you found out, played stupid games, won a stupid prize. So in the end, your fault, not mine. Stop blaming other people for your failures.
Men blaming other people for their own failures instead of accepting responsibility for themselves.
Jevin would be so popular in the Manosphere.
Oh, without a doubt.
Everybody would be on his side.
Yes.
Decent fight. Kill Jevin. Get some stuff. It's whatever. Aveline still, I think, has a little empathy for him because at the end she says, like, why would you do this?
Yeah. She still wants to know why someone would resort to this instead of like talking or coming to her or whatever. And like that shows that no matter how much we agree or disagree with Aveline, there is good in her and she does care about the well-being of Kirkwall and her guard.
Moving forward, back to Viscount's Keep to wrap this up with Aveline. Another thing she says is the past just claws at you, which we know it does. There's no way to really move forward without having dealt with the past, because it will keep pulling you back. In walks Donnic to once more give Aveline the boost that she needs and tells her, your men are loyal. There isn't a man or woman here who wouldn't follow you through the void. And I think it kind of loses some impact with Donnic saying it.
Yeah.
Because, again, like, you're her husband. Like, of course you feel that way. I think what we needed would have been the other guards coming in and reinforcing that.
Sure. I mean, don't you think, though, someone who loves you would tell you the truth, even if it isn't what you wanted to hear?
No, I think someone who loves me would see the best in regards to me.
Okay. Got it.
You know, this is something that I think John would say to me if I were in a position of command to bolster me, but also my feeling about it would be like, yeah, but you want to see the best.
Sure.
So, like, you want to see it that way.
I
think I would find it more believable or more affirming from people who maybe I'm not as close with.
Okay, that to me makes more sense. I guess what I'm trying to get to is less devaluing what Donnic's saying, but what you...
Oh, no.
Right.
I think Donnic is coming from, like, a good place.
Right, yeah.
I just think that from a narrative standpoint, he is a person who is always going to do his best to support his wife.
Yeah, totally. I think what I'm trying to say is, and what I was trying to pull out of you that makes more sense is, like, when we have partners that we deeply love, they're always going to want to, in our minds, we will always think they're going to say, like, they're going to see the best in us. And so compliments and support sometimes weighs more or has more value coming from other people, because in the back of our minds, there's none of the, well, they're just saying that, which is not necessarily that other person's fault. It's our own psychology of going, well, they have to say that they love me, which isn't, of course, true. Because they love you, they will tell you the truth. But in our own minds, we can kind of get caught in our heads, whereas like a best friend or a colleague says the same thing will have more impact because we don't have any of those hangups in our own brain about it.
Exactly. Also, I think a loved one will see the truth differently from you.
Yeah.
So I think that's also an important aspect.
Totally.
That is the end. That is the conclusion of Aveline's Favor and Fault. That was rough emotionally, the whole Jevin stuff, because of our current political experience. Also, another aspect is how easy it was for him to recruit people who just hate foreigners, who hate immigrants, who hate refugees. Like, it's just so easy to find those people and rally them together.
Yeah, I think we spent, I say we because I think you and I are very closely politically aligned. I think we have spent a lot of time thinking that, oh, I know this, so everyone knows this, right? This is obviously bad, these things. And what we're finding is
You'd
that
think.
terrible people rally pretty easily together. Terrible people unite pretty easily together.
It's just hate is so
Yeah.
easy. Like, it's so much easier to hate and to stir hate and spread hate because it takes no effort to do.
Yeah, empathy requires work.
Yeah. It's just sad because of how real it is. And I don't know if I can spend a lot of time dissecting it and comparing it to reality because it's already so obvious and makes my heart hurt.
Yeah, I think also for the sake of our listeners, we have talked about this a lot, and we will continue to, obviously. But I think reiterating the facts we all already know is a lot at this point.
Anything else to say about Aveline?
Uh, I, I'm conflicted about this character as a whole. I like her at times, and then she drives me bonkers at times, which I think is the sign of a well-written character. Is feeling conflicted. But I think ultimately, I thought this was a more interesting mission, but doesn't really change how I feel about Aveline on the whole. I don't think.
Yeah. I think that I respect her as a person, as an authority figure to an extent, as a woman in power. I do think that she has made decisions that have harmed the people in her care. But as Hawk, we are not really given any opportunities to show her that.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot I can do about it.
Yeah, most of the opportunities Hawk are given are to kind of blow up back at her or like get personally frustrated, but not like dynamically show her what the challenges are.
All right. Do you want to move on to the next thing?
Yes, let's head on to the next section and let's talk fan mail. No voice message this week, but we have some thoughts in the Discord from Callie. If you'd like to share some of them, Frankie.
Yeah. So these are thoughts from our last episode, Haunted, about Varric's companion quest, where Callie says, other companions come and go, but Varric is forever. Guessing that if you could, you would probably make merch based on this case. Are you listening? The dialogue wheel's charming icon is a cut gem, which would work with the silly Varric Diamond Association. Both sides of my family kept track of their family history so poorly that we do not know when our ancestors arrived in North America, nor from where. Could have been as recent as the early 1900s. We think most were German and some were Irish, but most of what we have to go on is the not always certain origins of the surnames that have not been forgotten. Most of my life, never had much sense of identity being tied to those places. Never felt US American, the culture never fit me, and I despise being called American. The places I feel connected to are mostly the other places I have lived. Sometimes I still identify as an honorary Nederlander, since not even the feeling of betrayal from being forced to leave can fully erase the feelings of belonging and attachment to the first place I found refuge, and the place where my most beloved friends are. Been keeping more of an emotional distance with, I don't think I could pronounce that, this location in New Zealand, trying to avoid thinking of myself as even temporarily Kiwi. Would be nice to stay here, to try and feel at home, and to become a Kiwi, but this time I have no delusions about the chances of being able to stay. The one strong place-based identity I have is the weird one. I am, without reservation, an Antarctican. Despite its challenges, it is the place that is most important to me and that feels like home. I also chose caution and insisted we destroy the shard. Maybe there exists a way to study it safely, but it is already proving unsafe for Varric to be around it, so I was not interested in taking that risk. Sometimes friends do need to convince friends to avoid something that is bad for them, and although I am not sure I trust myself to know when to do that, this is definitely one of those times. Meryl's confession visit is extremely cute. Congratulations, Matt, and best of luck with the fixing. I will continue to represent the she does not need fixing perspective.
Fair. Thank you, as always, for writing in, Callie. We appreciate hearing your thoughts. And yeah, I mean, I think, we could do a whole episode on identity and what identities are strongest to us and stand out. So thank you for sharing yours. We do appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Identity is such an important thing to me. Like, it's actually one of the core aspects of my thesis. You know, how difficult it is to maintain your identity in a forceful culture that is taking over everything around you, and how difficult it is to maintain that identity when it is suddenly illegal, and how easy it would be to just give up and be who everyone wants you to be instead of who you really are.
Yeah, and or even in a modern social media age, preserving your identity when you can't control what other people see as your identity, right?
Yeah.
Based on how you are perceived online, which is a fractured version of yourself, though you try and make it as true as possible, depending on how active you are there too.
Yeah, and sometimes maybe you don't want it to be true because you don't want people to know you.
Yeah, that too.
Or you want them to know a specific version of you.
Yep. Like I said,
identity is fun.
Yeah. We could do a whole bonus episode on identity. Maybe once we finish this game series, if we need to fill time, like once we finish all of Dragon Age, we'll do an episode on identity while we wait for the next Mass Effect. Anyway, now shall we head to Fandom Corner?
Let's go to Fandom Corner. So my contribution to Fandom Corner today is Jury Duty and Company Retreat. If you do not know what this is, it is the greatest thing, in my opinion. It is this TV show where it is filmed kind of in a mockumentary style, and everyone in it is an actor, except for one person who doesn't know that everything is fake.
Oh, no.
It is a little Truman Show, but it's not mean.
Okay.
Like, it's not a prank show.
Okay.
Yes, there are wacky shenanigans that they're trying to see how the hero, that is how the person is described in the script, how the hero responds to. Like, how do you respond to someone who is maybe a little creepy on the surface, but genuinely a good-hearted person? Like, how do you respond to the way other people treat them? You know, what do you do when someone who's supposed to be your friend blows up? You know, and hurts the other people around them. Just putting people in these situations, seeing how it unfolds, and also letting actors be genuinely unhinged. I really enjoyed it, mainly because every opportunity that you think something is going to be mean, it's not. It's wholesome, it's good-hearted, and it's showing how a person rises above to be the best that they can be for the people that they're in charge of, or the people that they're there to help.
Well, I like that. The thing I hate most about reality TV is like a lot of it is just very mean and mean-spirited, and I can't watch that.
This was not mean-spirited at all. Like, there's a couple of really wacky situations, and if you struggle with cringe humor, then you might have some moments of, oh, weird. But the point is how the hero reacts to these things. It's not about the cringe humor. It is about the hero and how they react to it.
I mean, the fact that they call them the hero in the script, I think, is a good sign.
I completely agree. And there was a sequel series called Company Retreat where they took the same concept, they took it out of the courtroom because the first one was about the process of being on a jury.
Mm-hmm.
The second one was pitched as it's a documentary about family-run businesses. So this person believes that they are going to be the personal assistant to the HR director during a company retreat where a documentary is being filmed.
Okay. Interesting.
So he is this personal assistant, and he ends up like really entrenched in this family business, and you see what he'll do for them, the lengths he'll go for them.
Huh. Interesting.
It's really nice and really heartwarming.
I don't
Also,
know.
James Marsden is in it.
I mean, who doesn't love James Marsden? Though that would never work on me. I'd recognize James Marsden immediately.
Oh, no. James Marsden was supposed to be recognized.
Oh, okay, good. I was going to say, because I love him.
In the first season, he shows up in the first episode. I'm not spoiling anything. James Marsden is in it. He walks in. The hero looks at him and is just like, that looks like a famous person. And then keeps to himself. He's like, I'm not going to bother a famous person. And James Marsden has to talk to him to get him involved. And James Marsden plays this like caricature of himself. Like, what if James Marsden was the biggest douchebag to ever exist?
Oy.
It's very good and very funny. Lisa Gilroy was also in it.
I love Lisa Gilroy. She's great.
See, when I saw Lisa Gilroy, I was like, you'd be busted.
Yeah,
the second
totally.
I saw her face, I'd
totally.
be like, that's fucking Lisa Gilroy.
Yes. She's having a moment right now. She was both in Shrinking and Scrubs this season, which was pretty awesome.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, she was great.
Well, she was in Company Retreat as well.
Amazing.
She's so funny.
So funny.
Like, I think a feminine person or like someone with a lot of emotional intelligence, not that these people did not have emotional intelligence, maybe people who have suffered trauma, maybe that. Like, people who are very alert. I think they would not fall for this.
I think so too.
Because there's a moment where, one of the actors tells the hero, I'm going to propose. And the hero's just like so excited about the proposal. Like, no questions asked.
Right,
I was like, I would ask so many questions.
Why, when, how?
What?
Yeah.
How do you just let that slide? I have questions. But neither here nor there. I will never be picked for a show like this.
No.
There are people out there who will be, and that is enough for me.
You're too paranoid and self-aware for something like this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I imagine, like, how that would have played out if it were me.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I would have yelled at superstar Sia. I think I would have yelled at her. I would not have been nice. Anyway, so I highly recommend Jury Duty and Company Retreat. I think Company Retreat lands better if you have watched Jury Duty, but I don't think that you need to. So
okay, cool. And do you know where these are available?
Amazon Prime, Freevee.
All right. Well, folks should go check that out. Mine will be pretty quick this week. I finally saw Project Hail Mary, which was excellent. It might be one of the best science fiction movies I've seen in a long time. So many science fiction movies are so self-serious and like dramatic, and I understand the point of that, and there's value in those. But this one was just kind of full of heart and comedy and kindness, and there the emotions felt real. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, I just really identified with the characters, with the plot, like, the main sciencey stuff does, as the movie goes on, feels more science fiction-y than science fact, which is the point. But like, it's such a different way that they, because this movie obviously is about a man going to space as a last-ditch effort to save Earth from our sun dying out, and encounters an alien, and how communication breeds solution. And like, alien encounter movies in the past are often very are played as very scary, and there's a little bit of this, right? The unknown, but there is a charm to this that I just have not found in a lot of other alien encounter movies and science movies. And Ryan Gosling, who I already think is a fantastic actor, basically gets to do a showpiece movie where most other actors have a page of scripting, and then him and the alien he meets have more. So like it really was really well done. And I don't know. I don't want to over describe it. I think it's worth seeing for yourself. Of course, everyone I've told that said I love the movie has asked, are you going to read the book or have you read the book? And the answer to both is no. Not because I think that there's probably anything wrong with it, but I struggle to read books. I don't get through them pretty quick. It takes a long time for me to finish even one novel. I'm just a very slow, easily distracted reader. Maybe I'll check out the audiobook at some point, but like, I don't know, the movie is the definitive piece, but this is always how I've been with the exception of the Jurassic Park movies where I like the books better. For the most part, if I see a movie based on a book, I'm content with that in the same way like playing the Witcher video games has been enough for me. Watching the Witcher TV show has been enough for me. I'm sure the books are great. I'm not discounting that. It's just it's hard for me to get through that stuff. I really struggle. I'm trying to get better at it. Audiobooks have helped, but like to me, it wouldn't be worth it. I might even damper how much I love the movie because I would be so frustrated trying to just make the time and stay focused on the book. But it was really great. And if you like science fiction, if you like stories with hope and happy endings and like not like a little bit of cheese, I think that this is definitely the movie for you because it's just, I understand that stories with trauma and with, devastating moments can feel realer because that's how life goes. But I think movies that are just kind of unabashedly about hope beyond all else are needed now, for one, and two, can be just as real. It just depends on your perspective. So if you haven't seen Project Hail Mary, definitely go check it out. It's definitely worth your time.
All I know about it is that Ryan Gosling wears a sick-ass fox cardigan.
He does, for most of the movie.
And I want to make one.
You should.
I will find a pattern, and I will eventually.
Okay. Make 2 and send me 1.
No.
Rude.
Send me $150.
I could.
That is how much a sick-ass fox cardigan will cost you.
Will it? Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
All right. So that is it for us. Our next episode is going to be No Rest for the Wicked, which is Isabella's companion quest.
I'm sure we won't get up to any trouble in that mission at all.
No, not even a little bit. And we definitely won't start quoting Cage the Elephant.
Yes, you remember the band correctly. Yeah! Good job.
Yes. I remember stuff.
Sure.
I am very smart.
Yes, for sure.
Anyway, if you like what you heard here, against all odds, you can follow us on social media. We're at ReignitePod on Blue Sky, YouTube, and Instagram, or you can send us an email at reignitepod@gmail.com. Do you like the fact that Callie sends in their perspective and we get to read it? Then you can do the same thing. You can email us your perspective or post it on our Discord. You can also find Matt and I on Blue Sky as DJ Stormageddon and Frankie B. Writes.
Please rate and review and subscribe to this very podcast. If this is your first episode, as always, why? But thank you. Please subscribe so you don't miss any other episodes and can go back and listen to other episodes. But in all seriousness, the rating and reviews help us immensely. The way we grow this audience is organically by doing those things because it helps push us up in the algorithm so other folks find the podcast. So we greatly appreciate it.
And you should know by now that we're members of the Certain Point of View Network. You can visit certainpov.com to find more nerdy podcasts, each with a unique point of view. You can also find a permanent invite link to our Discord server on the website, where you can join the conversation.
Yep, that's the place to post your thoughts about this, other video games. We also have channels dedicated to books, TV and movies, music, all sorts of stuff. If you want to share your love of nerdy things, there is more conversation beyond just the BioWare games in the Discord as well, if you'd like to come hang out. As for personal plugs, I don't really have anything new. Fun and Games still going strong as my other podcast on the network. If you like a more broad discussion about video games, you can go check that out. Also, I've been trying to do more Instagram video content. It's sort of working. It's mostly just been fun. So because I ditched TikTok because I don't want a app on my phone so steeped in government nonsense. So I've resorted back to Instagram, which admittedly is meta and isn't much better, but we pick and choose as we can. So with that, if you want to follow my exploits there, but mostly making a weird mix of personal and motivational stuff over there, you can go to DJ_Stormageddon on Instagram and check that stuff out.
As for me, hey, do you love romance? Do you love books? Do you love community-forward spaces that care more about providing a safe space to exist than it does about making profit? Then you're going to love the Romance Society Bookshop. Keep an eye on Romance Society Books on Instagram to learn more, and keep an eye out for our Kickstarter.
Hell yeah. We'd like to thank Case Aiken for developing some awesome shirt designs over at certainpov.com, and also thank you, Case, for developing each episode's individual show art. We really appreciate it.
We'd like to thank Miracle of Sound for our theme music. If you have been enjoying it, then head over to miracleofsound.rocks and check out Gavin Dunn's other music and merch.
And thank you to Red Spinks for developing our Dragon Age-inspired logo. We really love it. To find more of his work, you can just go to Chaos Does Art on Instagram.
And lastly, thank you for listening. I'm Frankie.
And I am Matt, a.k.a. Stormageddon. And remember, all Templars are bastards. Especially Cullen.
Fight for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Hawk, 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 Hawk.
Do you feel like you're the only person in your circle who wants to go deep about video games regularly?
We were like that too, until now.
Welcome to Crossplay Conversations, the brand new bi-weekly topical video game podcast from Luke Lewis.
Joseph Hooper.
And Jacob McCourt.
With many years of breaking it down separately on shows like the Left Behind Game Club, Player Podcast, and Lukewarm Games, the gang is finally coming together to publish their gaming group chat in audio form every other week.
Expect roundtable reviews of the latest games, profiles of upcoming indies, and insightful conversations about essential topics in the video game industry. All with a mostly positive, insightful, and fun style.
Crossplay Conversations debuts on August 1st with brand new episodes hitting every other Tuesday. Help us out by subscribing on your podcast platform of choice to get the first episodes delivered straight to your feed.
And follow us on Twitter at Crossplay Convos for updates about the show.
Cheers and happy gaming.
CPOV.
CertainPOV.com.